Hi guys. Hey everybody, how you doing? I wanted to pop into the Success Circle. First of all, welcome. We have so many new people that have joined recently, and it's just been wonderful. It's been wonderful to see some of the people that have been in the Success Circle that have popped over and become clients and are in our Thinking into Results group. So every morning at 6 a.m., I do a call for my group. And this morning we had to stop at 6:30. We usually go the full hour because I was interviewing Bob Proctor today. And also, as you're coming on, just give me a heart or a hello so that I can see that you're on. I'm on my phone here. Yeah, just say hi. Would love a hi to say hi to you guys. And frankly, honestly, with these glasses, I can't even see. Like, I can't even see the number of people that are on properly. I don't know. Okay, let me just digress for a moment. With the glasses, it's like sometimes I feel like I can't see far, I can't see close. I just can't see. But anyways, hi Lama, how are you? Thank you for popping in and saying hello. Everyone else, just yeah, pop in and say hello so I know who's here. So we wrapped up our call today. Hi Tabitha, how are you? We wrapped up our call at 6:30 today. Oh, Paul's just trying to tell the boys to be quiet because I was getting hair and makeup done to go do an interview with Bob. So the way that this all came about was that when I first met Bob, I said, one day I want to interview you. And he was like, maybe one day I want to interview you. And the day came for me to interview him. We were actually supposed to do it in April 22nd at the Isabel Bader Theater in front of 500 people. And it was going to be just a wonderful in-depth interview in front of a live audience. But of course, with the pandemic, that didn't happen. So instead of pushing it off and off and off, I just said, what if I just come over? Let me just invite myself over to your house, Mr. Proctor. And, okay, anyways, somebody is coming. No one comes to our house. Oh gosh, Paul looks scared to answer the door. Paul doesn't like to answer the door, especially if they have a clipboard. Paul, are you going to answer it? Okay, I think they were just dropping off a package.
Oh, okay.
So, sorry about that. So, we just decided that, yeah, we're gonna still do this interview. And I invited myself over to his house. Yes, Nana, we know it's not you. That's hilarious. So I invited myself over to his house and I said, let's just do it. And I said, but I wanted it to be different. I feel like, you know what, you can go and you can obviously, there's so much out there on Bob, but I wanted you to get to know the Bob that I've gotten to know, and anyways. So the interview, I think it was over an hour. So I literally got there and then Bob walked in and we started rolling, which I love. I actually don't like having a lot of small talk before an interview because I think it takes the energy out. So we talked about a lot of things and I don't want to give, I kind of do. I want to tell you everything about it right now, but I don't want to because I want you to, enjoy watching it, enjoy the unfoldment of it. But here's one thing that he said that I think is really interesting for us to explore. And say hi, give me a wave and stuff if you are watching. So I know that you're here. So one of the things that he said was that, because we were talking about how generous he is. He's so generous. And we were talking about how, there's a generosity that you can see, that you can know that he does, that his company does. But there's also so much that I have seen that's behind the scenes that nobody would really know about. And he was saying, that's just the great thing about money. He goes, when people hoard money or they're holding on to it so tightly, he said, I've seen that. That is not a way to live. He says, he doesn't need to work anymore, but he loves making money, generating wealth because of all the good that you can do with it, that there's so much good that you can do when you have money. So what do you guys think about that? What do you think about that? About generating wealth, about having money, and that it allows you to do more? Pop me a heart or a like if that resonates with you. That it's in having money that you're able to do more. So then I said to him, I said, well, then is it our obligation to be rich? And he said, yeah. He said, it absolutely is. And I know that when people hear that, they're going to take, they're going to be kind of resistant to it, thinking, oh, all you care about is money. But if you want to make a difference in the world, honestly, if you want to be able to have a larger impact, it helps if you've got money. You know, we're going to be going to Kenya. Well, we're supposed to be going next year in June to watch somebody graduate that we have sent her through 2 years of schooling, paid for her full tuition and everything. That happened because I had money. And I know that I know, like, it's just so interesting because this is a real block for people because they feel like they are bad, right? Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, right, Llama? The more you give, the more you get. And you know what's so interesting? Okay, here's something else. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't be giving it all away. This is the other thing Bob said. He said, and I had to repeat it. He said, if you're not charging people for what you do, the products, the service you provide, you don't understand money. Right? If you're not charging people, you don't understand money. Money is energy. Money is meant to be in circulation. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so interesting because I know that many people, Alicia's like mic drop, right, Alicia? Because so many people have such issues with charging. And, you know, what he was saying is that, especially Alicia, for you and others that are coaches or mentors in any way, or for your service, that not only do you not understand money, but you don't understand your own worth. And that it's very important to charge. And it's very important to charge not for you, which is the irony of it. It's important to charge for the other person because we won't value what we don't pay for, what we don't invest in. And I said to him, I said, Bob, like, why is it so hard for us to invest in ourselves? Why is it so hard? Like, we can, you know, something for the kids, something for somebody else, we'll do it in a heartbeat. But for ourselves, and I know that I work with a lot of people in the fitness industry, and they see it where, you know, people want to get healthier, they want to have different relationships to food, but it's so hard for them, for some of them, to invest in themselves. And he was just like, we're just not conditioned that way. But it's not the money that's an issue. It's not the money that's a problem because we will spend the money on other things. We will spend the money on other things and not even question it. It is just that we're not conditioned to spend the money on ourselves, especially if we're not going to get at the end of it, you know, some sort of letters behind our name, like, oh, I got this PhD, or, you know, I got a master's in this. That we'll spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on, which will only take us too far, because that's what we were also talking about, this idea of just like everyone collecting knowledge. But back to that one point, that if you are not charging, you don't understand money. Could like stay with that for a while. There were so many nuggets, and we talked about his childhood as well. We talked about his love for Canada and being a Canadian. And I think you guys are just going to love it. I can't wait. I'm not sure exactly when you're going to be able to see it, but it will be soon. I know, Alicia, isn't that so true? People will take out loans for letters, for the letters behind their names. People will take out loans, honestly, to fix things superficially or to do things, but we just don't want to be inconvenienced either, right, Alicia? So it's like, so to invest in a fitness coach, to invest in that is for some people, that is a harder ask. And so you've really got to be disciplined in your thinking and question things, because when we're not, we're just running on programming. We're just running on, the things that we've been told, the conditioning of it. So just spending time with Bob today, and going deep into a little bit of his life, and just to think like, oh my gosh, okay, can I just tell you one thing? And then we'll wrap this up. Hi, Anita. Oh my gosh, yes, Libby's like, I love Bob's stories. Can't wait to hear them. And honestly, Libby, we could have done, I was like, I need to wrap this up. It's been over an hour now, but we just barely scratched the surface. There was so much more. But because think about it. We had talked about that when Bob moved to Toronto. He moved to Toronto when he was 10 years old. And he said, and he was saying, like, at that time, you know, many of the men are out at war. So there's not a lot of men. So his grandfather had lived with them. At that time, the biggest thing in technology was a ballpoint pen. And he remember his grandfather having one that you didn't have to refill, because the pens at that time you had to refill. But he said it didn't quite work properly. So, you'd write a bit and then you know how when a pen is running out of ink, you miss a few letters and then it kind of picks back up again. I, just mind blowing, just so incredible to think even of what he has seen over his years, at 86 years old. And we talk about something that he did for the very first time last year as well. So there's just so many good things in there. But one of the things that in Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh, that they say is that, and this is what Bob says, and in Conversations with God, Neil Donald Walsh says that he says this, that all the masters say this: what I can do, you can do. What I am, you are. And I've heard Bob say that countless times to people, especially because he's like, look at where I came from, grew up poor, 2 months high school education. And he says, if I can do this, you can do this. And when I was leaving, we'd wrapped up the interview and I was leaving and we were just chatting a bit. And I was like, Bob, why is that so hard to believe? And he had said that it's a big concept for us to be aware of. What I can do, you can do. We look at other people doing things, but we don't identify that, oh my gosh, I can do that. And even if they say it to us, it's like there's such a big gap. And it takes a certain type of awareness for us to actually accept it. I say this to my clients, sometimes you'll have to borrow my belief in you. That's what happened for Bob. Bob didn't believe that he could change his life, but there was a mentor that believed in him. And he was just like, well, got nothing to lose, not going anywhere fast, so might as well give it a try. Shannon, I love this. Says, I never thought about the year that ballpoint pens came onto the scene. Right? And look at all that we have now at our disposal of what we can do. The technology, everything that we've got now. So, anyways, it was really great. I asked Bob one of the questions that he has asked me and others before, which was, if you forgot your age, how old would you be? If you forgot your age, how old would you say you are? And I asked Bob that question, but you're going to have to watch to see what he says.